How's it going, everyone? Mega Mashers here, and I bring you guys a very interesting article that talks about pokegening and hacking, the whole nine yards. Now, I am going to be upfront with you guys and tell you that yes, I am someone that pokegens my Pokemon, and I do it for my own reasons. I do it because of things like time constraint, like I work 48 hours a week, and especially given the fact that there's all these open spots at my work, that leaves me even less time to have free time to breed. But that's just me. I know that there are people that work full time, and yet they still dedicate themselves to uh, breeding Pokemon, and I respect that 150%. Trust me, there's a lot of respect I have for people that choose to dedicate the time and the patience to breed their Pokemon rather than, the quote unquote quick fix of genning Pokemon. Now, I am going to take a neutral and professional approach in this article. I skimmed through the article, but I haven't read everything that has been in this article. So I'm gonna read along with you guys and just kind of break down each paragraph and just kind of give my own spin on it, whether I agree or disagree. Now, I'm going to be taking this article on in two perspectives: the neutral perspective and my perspective, my personal opinion. So, with that being said, let's get to it. Uh, so, actually, we're going to ignore this paragraph here because it's an intro paragraph. Um, Okay, so with the whole idea of Game Freak banning people who use hack Pokemon on Battling Spot, the controversy of genning has rose to an even higher state. I can see that happening. Some people tend to link genning with hacking, and I even from a neutral standpoint, I can't say I fully agree with that because yes, while you are using a tool to hack Pokemon, not hack Pokemon, to generate Pokemon that would otherwise take potentially hours, maybe even days to breed an entire box of, your 5 and 6 IV Pokemon with battle ready stats and move sets and all that stuff. Things like that would take days. But something that would take days with genning would take minutes. Um, Anyways, so let's get back to it. Many people who do not like the idea of genning start to voice their dislike and hatred towards the idea. That's also true. I've seen it firsthand, and I've even made a video response to Thou Who Shall Not Be Named when he made his video, uh, and it had not the most friendly thumbnail. But anyways, I'm not going to get into that. I already addressed that part. There are people who utterly bully and attack people who use genning to obtain their mons. How is that fair? Okay, first of all, I just want to say that this is a fucking game. And I apologize for swearing because I'm supposed to be professional. But there's nothing professional about being a bully, especially over a game. Seriously, get over it. People have their different ways of playing. Some play it for the storyline. Some play it to be a breeder. Some play it to shiny hunt. Others, like myself, play it to be competitive. I have that competitive side in me, and when time isn't my best friend, then I will use PK Hex and generate a team of Pokemon. That way I can have it battle ready, good to go, no hustle, no nothing kind of thing. So, um, in the question, how is that fair? Well, actually, I kind of answered that. It's never a fair thing to bully somebody over their choice. Now, I will say this: hacking, in my opinion, is where you take Pokemon, you give them illegal abilities, illegal move sets, max out all of their stats, and the thing of it is, you can have their Pokemon in their already Mega form, and Like how is that fair? You could have an entire team of megas, and yeah, that right there is hacking, and that right there is it's not cool. It's not cool. So, anyways, next paragraph. But the issue here isn't so much that genning Pokemon is the problem; it's hacking that is the problem. Well, actually, I just kind of touched base on that, and genning and hacking are not the same thing. Okay, that is true actually. I'm here to give you the facts on what exactly genning is by supporting and arguing claims that have been shot out and show that genning is not as bad that people should not go hating on genners. Okay, so things are kind of starting to get a little bit interesting here. Besides the time frame at getting the Pokemon, sorry, there's absolutely no difference between genning a Pokemon and breeding a Pokemon. If you know how to gen correctly and have every single detail right down to a basic science where you can literally tell no difference between a gen Pokemon and a bred Pokemon, okay, there's something to be said about that there. I wouldn't be able to tell the difference. If someone was to send me two Pokemon, one was gen, one was bred, I wouldn't be able to tell which one was which if the person knew how to gen correctly. So let's see here. Um, Genning a legal proper Pokemon includes knowledge of what moves a Pokemon can get and when, knowing proper EV and IV spreads, hidden powers are a thing, and giving them the correct abilities. That's true. That is true. People can argue that genning legendary Pokemon with 6 IVs or the proper hidden powers is illegal and cheating, therefore hacking. I wouldn't go as far as to say it's hacking or illegal. However, I will say, from a neutral standpoint, that I'm not even going to say it's impossible, but it could take you potentially days upon days to get, your hidden power ice Zapdos or your hidden power fire Xerneas or something like that. Just a couple examples. Uh, those would take a long time, especially if you're looking to get perfect IVs in every stat, with the exception of the IVs that need to be lowered by one to get that hidden power that you need. So, anyways, let's get back into it here. Uh, this is not the case because it is very possible to obtain a 6 IV legendary Pokemon in game. I won't deny it. That can have some truth behind it. Um, let's see here. It just takes a long time to do, and again, genning is simply a faster means to obtain a legal Pokemon. Okay, that's entirely true. Um, so let's see here. Uh, Before I carry on, actually, I just kind of want to give an example of that here, that it's possible to have a 6 IV legendary Pokemon. I remember before there was the ability to use Pokegen for 6th generation Pokemon. Oh my god. I can't remember the exact time frame, but it was very early 2014. Somebody sent me a 6 IV Zygarde, um, and I was just like, how the heck did that happen? Like how is this even possible? But then I was like, okay, well, here's the thing. It is actually possible because of the fact that when I caught a Zygarde, I spent hours resetting, and I got a near 5 IV perfect Zygarde. And I say near 5 IV because the speed IV was 29. But anyways, that's neither here nor there. I'm just saying that it is possible. Um, just the difference being is the time. Strictly the time. That's the only difference. So anyways, getting back into it. Statistically speaking, there's no difference between legit bred and legit gen Pokemon. Again, it goes back to knowing how to correctly gen the Pokemon and take each and every single fact of that Pokemon and implement it within the genning process. So let's see here. My hashtag breeding bro, I'm Reuniclus, said that it's best in this post. Okay, I'm not sure what that was about there. Someone can claim that Jenning is cheating, but it is simply another way to obtaining legal mines. Now, I will say, um, on one side of things, you could say it is cheating, because there are things like, say, events, for example, that take place in, say, Japan only. Say just for example, say that Diancie, for example, was not obtainable in America. It would be nearly impossible for every single person that lives in America to have a Diancie from Japan, unless of course it was Wonder Trade or whatever. And it would especially be nearly impossible to have it with 6 IVs, considering it's such a rare event. But with PokeGen, it's possible. So I'll give credit where credit's due. That right there, I can kind of understand where people could label it as cheating in certain situations, such as event Pokemon that are very hard to obtain outside of the US of A or Canada. The experience is in the player and and how they play the game. Sorry, and if it is different than someone else who does it, that doesn't mean it's wrong. Okay, let's move on here. The biggest thing that people need to understand about Jenning is that most people do it for the ease of it. Um, okay, that's true. Breeding is a tedious process that if you do not know how to properly do so or do not have the time to do so, it can be a very frustrating experience. That I will 100% agree with professionally and personally. um, my Pokemon Y game, my file is almost 2 years old. I guarantee you, I have thousands of hours logged onto that, and just from breeding alone, ate up thousands of hours. I remember it took me it took me hours to breed, be able to IV breed like even a good decent team. That was one thing, but I like move breeding was a whole different animal. Like that right there was just like, oh my god, like I gotta do this whole thing again. But that was then, and thanks to Jenning, now it's a little it's well, it's not a little bit, it's a hell of a lot easier. So let's see here. Random number generators are not a very fun thing for some people, myself included, and myself included. The RNG sucks sometimes. I do not want to limit my chances on a good experience by sheer luck. Fair enough, fair enough. Alright. Jenning is a quick solve for that. Yes, that is true. As long as you give it the proper legal moves and abilities, there isn't any harm to you, your game, or your Pokemon. Again, if, like, as long as you give the proper legal moves and abilities. If you were not 100% correct, then yes, your Pokemon is technically hacked. Okay? For example, Blastoise can't learn Steam Eruption. I would love for it to learn Steam Eruption, but sadly it can't. But whatever. Uh, there are adults who play Pokemon that go to work, have families, go to college, and have social lives that tend to keep them very busy and tired throughout most of their time, and have to come home and take a long time to breed without even the guarantee that you'll have to get it right away. Um, that sounds kind of reasonable to me. Um, I was kind of saying about myself that I work a minimum of 48 hours a week, and I say minimum especially nowadays because I'm working all these extra shifts and stuff. And you pile that on top of the fact that I go to the gym and I train for a long time, and I also spend a lot of time making videos for our YouTube channel. I wouldn't really have really that much time and patience to be sit down and properly breed Pokemon. I'm not gonna, like I said, I'm not going to knock on people who choose to breed because it's very commendable. I respect 100% the people who choose to put themselves through it. However, my choice being I choose not to put myself through it because if you have access to tools, you have a choice as to whether or not you want to use them. Anyways, Jenning is just a lot less stress inducing. That's true. So let's move on here. A huge argument against Jenning is that you do not get the satisfaction of having a properly bred Pokemon that you made yourself and therefore do not have the emotional bond to it. That is a false claim. There are reasons to feel accomplished for Jenning proper Pokemon. Okay. Um, that I disagree with. Because, okay, here's the thing. Say if you were to gen a Pokemon, okay? And say if you were to mess up its IVs, like if you got the wrong hidden power on it, you just simply turf it and gen a new one. Whereas, say if you were to spend hours breeding for a Pokemon that, you finally get the correct IVs and all that stuff. And, it may not be the perfect IVs, but you have the hidden power that you want. And, you're happy with it. You spent hours training that Pokemon, and you develop some sort of bond with that Pokemon. That right there is where the bondage comes in. For Pokegening, it's like I can't really agree with the whole emotional bond for genning Pokemon unless you have used that Pokemon for hours and you know it through and through, kind of thing. I don't know. That right there is my professional opinion, and it has a little bit of personals in it because I've been there. I bred Pokemon and I grew relatively attached to them. I did not want to let them go. I still have them chilling in all my boxes in Pokemon Y. They will never be replaced, ever. So, anyways, getting back into this article here. For me, being able to gen a complete team of legal Pokemon is extremely satisfying when it is all successful. Yes. Well, when you accomplish anything, it's satisfying. This means with this accessibility, I can enter strict tournaments, compete in Pokemon leagues such as GBA, and if I had the tech to do so, Wi-Fi battles on YouTube. Being able to use those Pokemon I made in the way I made them for is what I truly feel satisfied and accomplished for. Well, that right there, that's your personal take, and I'm not going to knock you on it. But there's a saying that not one point of view holds all the answers, and from this point of view, it doesn't seem like that. You're not hitting all of the marks correctly. There are some flaws and some things that I disagree with, respectfully, I might add, with this article here. So let's go down a little bit. But the best thing about Jenning, and in my opinion, the most satisfying of them all, again, keywords opinion, take not only this article, but take what I say with a pinch of salt. This right here, even though I said that it's going to be both professional, it's also personal, like opinionated too. So let's see here. Is the ability to help people who need Pokemon. Like stated earlier, not everyone has the time, patience, or knowledge to properly breed Pokemon, especially for hidden powers. That is, I do see where he's coming from on there, because say if you got friends who, are not good breeders, it's like, well, here, bro, it's like I can gen, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 Pokemon for you. You don't have to worry about entering your tournament tomorrow with half-bred Pokemon, whatever. It's like I got 6 legally genned Pokemon for you right here. Here you go. You're doing a favor for the friend, and you're doing it. You're cutting hours and hours away from that person who had to spend all that, who could have potentially spent all that time breeding for Pokemon and maybe not even become 100% successful. You know what I mean? When I give someone a Pokemon that they need for a league or a team, and their happiness is, and the happiness that they have when I do so for them, as well as their gratitude, that fills me with a sense of accomplishment that I do not often feel anywhere else. Okay? you know what? I commend you on that, and making your friends feel happy is always a good thing. I would love to make my friends feel happy too. Like I always feel good about that. I love to help people, and Jenning is an excellent way to help my friends. So I have a feeling that this article here is, like I said, it seems to be more opinion based. So whoever reads this, take it with a grain of salt. I take it with a grain of salt. Um, and I respect that person's opinion 100%, even if it's not proportionately correct 100%. That's like that's the way it is with all opinions. I mean, they may or may not be 100% correct. Okay. Here are a few more tidbits about Jenning that you'll probably be aware of. People have claimed that getting legendaries and other hard to get Pokemon is wrong to do in Jenning and should just go find a giveaway to obtain said mons. Well, what if you can't find a giveaway? Then what? Let's see. People, I hate to tell you this, but 90% or so of those giveaways you promote to stop Jenning is, in fact, people giving away Gen Pokemon. This is also the same as Wonder Trading. Hey, touche. Touche, bro. Good point. Because if you choose to Wonder Trade, you're kind of opening yourself up to getting Pokemon that could, in fact, be genned, and you might not know it, and you could use those Pokemon. And at the end of the day, which is really the lesser of two evils, kind of thing. It's like if you choose to Wonder Trade, you're kind of opening yourself up to potentially getting those genned Pokemon that could be perfectly fine. So let's see here. Shinies, another huge argument that people have brought up in the case against Jenners. Um, they say that shinies are a huge sense of accomplishment, which is true 100%. To get what when you breed or hunt them down, and that genning a shiny Pokemon means it's bad or illegal. If you face a team of 6 IV shiny Pokemon, okay, there's something not quite right about that. That isn't just mere coincidence. It's like, okay, this person clearly genned or whatever. And I used to be one of those kind of people that would bring all 6 shinies, but it's like, no, man. Like half the shiny color palettes I don't even like. I want to have Pokemon, non-shiny Pokemon. I'm not knocking shiny Pokemon, don't get me wrong, but regular Pokemon, they work just fine. Like there's no difference in their performance. Um, so let's see here. Shiny Pokemon literally do nothing besides add a new cosmetic change, and for some Pokemon, that isn't even a good thing. Yes. Chances are, if I use a Pokemon that is shiny, it is because I like the Pokemon as it is shiny, not because I want to show it off. Well, some people bring a bunch of shinies in battle just to show off. So let's see. I do apologize if this is a little bit rambly, guys. I swear it's almost over. Um, Regardless of whether or not you gen or breed, bullying is the absolute worst thing you could do. Yes, especially given the fact that it's just a game, people. You guys got to remember that at the end of the day. It's just a game. There's no need to get your knickers in a knot and go around bullying and bashing other people for the way they play. Now, I will say, if they hack, that's not cool. That's not cool. And yeah, if they got caught hacking, then that's on them. That shouldn't be on you. That's just me. That's just my 2 cents in that, my opinion. Do not attack a Jenner because he or she is doing a method you don't like or wouldn't do yourself. Okay? Respect their opinion and what they do, and just do your own thing. Yes, you know what? I agree 100% with that. There are different ways of playing Pokemon, as I said before. If you don't like the way someone plays Pokemon in their own way, leave them alone. Don't bully them. Walk away. Ignore it. If you don't like something, ignore it. Now, myself, if I don't like something, I tend to be a little bit more vocal about it depending on how much of an impact it made on me. But that's just me. Okay? I'm not perfect by any stretch of the imagination, but that's just me. Anyways, let's see here. I I lost my spot here. I do apologize. Uh, this also applies to genders as well. Bragging or bullying breeders because of their inability to or preference to not gen isn't a good thing to do as well. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. That is true. Okay, there's the whole two wrongs don't make a right. There's the whole, like, it's time to bully somebody who bullied me. No, 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 no. You leave it at that. Okay? Someone wants to bully you and make an ass out of themselves, they're going to get burned in the long run. That's it. So let's see here. Uh, Remember, people, this is a video game. Yes. And it is meant to have fun with. Yes. Let everyone play the game the way they enjoy playing. Yes, yes, yes. So that pretty much concludes this article here. I mean, there's just that little uh, ending or bit there. But anyways, wow. I gotta say, this was quite the interesting article here. So I'll leave a link in the description box down below if you guys want to read it. It's a pretty interesting read. And um this right here, it kind of puts a few things in perspective here. That everyone has different opinions when it comes to genning and hacking. Everyone has different opinions when it comes to genning versus breeding. I respect every way to play with the exception of hacking. Hacking, Pokemon that are in their mega forms by default with illegal abilities, illegal move sets, and max EVs in all their stats. Yes, that is hacking. That is wrong. Do not do that. Anyways, guys, so I'll leave a link in the description box down below. I gotta get to the gym because I feel my pre-workout kicking in and I'm starting to get real shaky. So thanks for watching. I do apologize for this being a long-winded video, but anyways, I shall see you guys next upload.